Well, marhaba habibis.
Make dua beforehand. Make dua.
Say shahada. You have to make sure that shaitan is not here with us.
Welcome, Habibis. I'm gonna remove our guy from here. What's going on, Habibis?
How's everybody doing?
Oh, what's good? What's good in the hood? Jeez. Hopefully y'all can hear us okay. You know, we don't sound too
muffled because we're using
not too muffled.
Well, I'm still waiting for my my studio microphone to get here from China, and it's just
which is
infused
with Chinese Communist Party semen, right?
Hell yeah, I'm
Hell
here.
yeah.
I'm here for. I'm backing them as hard as the New York Times does.
Oh man, we were talking about how we were going to start, and I completely forgot how we were going to start. Oh, we're going to start with some artwork. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
So we had. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second, Habibis. Just calm the f down. Here we go. Sharon, I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Give me 1 second. An application window. If it's here, and can y'all see that? So
there it is.
There it's in all its beauty. This is so Marwan Shaheen. Go follow him on Instagram. This is the guy who did our artwork. We'll probably get a few more pieces from him, but essentially, Jay or Habibi reached out to him, suggested we get him, and we figured we'd plug him in right away because he did such a phenomenal job. I mean, if you can look real closely, I'm going to try to zoom in here. Man, I don't know how to get rid of this banner, but let's zoom in a little bit.
I don't think there's a worse boomer out there that today.
Oh my god! I'm just doing stuff that makes no sense. So you could see the link. You got Bob Malik on the right, and you got the writing hand emoji on the left. It's just incredible.
Got it blinged out.
I know, it's so good. It's so good. Anyways, really if you're on Instagram, go follow him on Instagram. He's a talented artist out in Los Angeles. He's Misriya. He is Egyptian. And we're going to get right into it because get right into our weekly jihad. And I'm wearing a hat because I'm waging the jihad on my hair. It's looking extra poofy right now.
Are there still no barbers open out there?
Yo, they're still shut down, man. I went last week. I went last Friday to the barbershop to try to get a cut, and the cops shut them down before I could get in. So,
they shot him. The cops actually went in and shot him down.
No, I think what they did was they drove by and spooked them to shut it, to basically being like, all right, let's shut down because we don't know where it's gonna go. We might get fined. We might get a ticket. And at that point, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I think it's getting ridiculous with some of the places out there. A lot of places have reopened slowly and reopened businesses with guidelines and stuff, and it's been going out. It's been rolling out really well. I mean, as long as people are being cautious and aware of what's going on, I don't see a problem with opening things up with limited capacities and stuff like that. I mean,
there's just been some weird things going on, and I think we should start off with how Florida has responded. You got Ron DeSantis out here, essentially laying waste to the media, and I want to hover in on this one guy, Hamza Shaban. And I'm gonna find this little Chrome tab here.
He's the I think he's the tech writer for Washington Post?
Yeah, he's a Washington Post writer. So I'm gonna just highlight one thing in particular, and this is where some of the fake news starts. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, essentially, you see this little article here. I don't know what you're seeing on my screen. Is it just my screen you're seeing?
Yeah, it's just your screen. Don't worry, we're not looking at any of the tabs you have opened up right now with hentai porn. We know it's past the card, and right now anything is permitted.
I really wanted to just show you my web browser history of all the hentai porn I'm watching during Ramadan.
You should do that slowly. But over here, as you can see, he's tweeting out that this person, like, this is a legitimate news story about this person coming out and saying that she got fired because she was told to doctor the data, when in reality she's told by doctors and people who are experts in their field how to analyze the data and post the data, and not just any way that she wanted to. This tweet got like 35,000 retweets.
Yeah,
and something like 100,000
I'm scrolling down. Yeah, 35,000 retweets, 69,000 likes.
And this is live, by the way. This is still up. This has not been taken down. This has not been removed or anything. He's not putting any kind of rebuttals to it or anything like that. He's just putting it straight out like it's a full on reliable news source and story, when it's only having her side and it's only been talked about with what she had to say. And of course, when DeSantis was asked about it, that's when he blew off. Well, not just blew off, but when he really gave it to the media, as well deserved. If anyone deserved to like really, really rag on the media, it's him.
Yeah. All right. So that's the first context. That's all you really need to know about Hamza Shaban right there and then. So I want to follow it up with this, because this is just balls to the wall crazy. Let's find it here. Such a boomer. All right. If you can see this. All right, so there's this video of Ron DeSantis. You got Congressman Lee Zeldin praising him for basically criticizing the media. And then Hamza Shaban comes through and is like, here's a taste of how the Florida governor is responding to this crisis, attacking the media.
To the whole crisis.
Brazenly?
It's the whole crisis. This right here is how he responded to it. Like
brazenly deflecting questions about his administration's efforts to conceal information from the public and bragging that Florida's death rate is lower than that of other states. And
it is. And it's almost one of the best. It's probably the best state that's out there, especially one that's reopened compared to anything else out there. I mean, the media is out there literally unzipping Andrew Cuomo's pants and just going at it. Like
it just got gayer.
Some fucking hero. He is the best governor to respond to any kind of crisis ever in the history of the United States.
Yeah.
But he's the one who literally went and killed grandmothers. Like, he's responsible for their deaths.
Yeah. I feel like we've beaten it into the ground how Andrew Cuomo, you got me saying it like you now, how Andrew Cuomo is basically like he's gone almost into hiding. Like I haven't seen him except his press conferences and his brother's show, which by the way, we were just talking about how weird is that now? Like it was cute and like funny in the beginning, but now it's just like weird and gross that you have his brother constantly interviewing the governor of New York in the middle
and not
of
asking about the deaths at the
it sounds like
about how much more the death rate is in New York compared to everywhere else.
It's like
the metro
Hannity,
is still open.
It's like Hannity interviewing Trump, because they're best friends, but every time that they like sit down, like the go-to question is, you're awesome. Please explain.
Exactly.
It's so over the top. It's so, I mean, like, it's incestuous at this point. And I mean, we always say how we're sick of it, but like, this is like one of those things. This is like a meme that with everything, this is the meme that has now basically been used too much and has been killed. And they're just going to keep using it. Like I did. Like I did with the Sharia meme. I used that and buried that into the ground.
No, but you got it. Yeah, you have to repost it just for Yashar. Like, he got so annoyed by it. But one thing that I really loved about Chris, and it's not so much as loved, but as it showcases how he is a piece of shit, is when he was talking about, and he was trying to lecture how people should be wearing masks and all this kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. While just the day before, his brother had a press conference and he was sitting in a line with people, and the people who weren't talking weren't wearing masks. Nobody was wearing masks. Yeah. Nobody. And not only that, this motherfucker, he went 60 miles out from where he was supposed to be quarantined.
And he's pretending like he didn't break quarantine.
Exactly. And that nobody is calling this out. I mean, no one is calling. Nobody's calling out the fact that he goes, him and his brother have interviews together. Nobody's calling out the fact that he lied completely about being in quarantine and going out 69 miles to the Hamptons. It's ridiculous. And then we're expecting that these people are actually trying to give us accurate news or trying to tell us how to live our lives and all this kind of stuff. And it's just
on top of that, you also, and this is sort of just feeding into another story this week, because Chris Cuomo, because I'm going to start saying it like, but Chris Cuomo, he's even one of those people who, I mean, like, look, he's one of the most self-righteous people on TV. Always thinks that everything he does, like, his shit don't stink. Like, nothing that he does is wrong. And he is one of the people among a chorus of people in the media who has been coming down hard on Trump for announcing that he's taking hydrochloroquine, the anti-malarial drug to treat corona. And it's used as a prophylactic in the sense of trying to prevent yourself from getting coronavirus. Again, like, I don't know the science behind all of it. I don't know how it works. I think a lot of doctors aren't 100% sure how it works either. But for some reason, it's been working, and they have no way to explain why. And
that's.
But the thing is, you go ahead.
No, the one thing that I wanted to brush over is how the FDA for, I don't know, since the 60s have been saying that this is an okay drug to take and everything. And then, journalists who are not doctors, who are not, pharmacists, who are not nothing, they come up and they want to start regurgitating the side effects of it. And it's like, Advil causes heart attacks too in severe cases. Like, what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah, like every single medication, if you take a lot of a certain medication, you are going to experience pretty severe side effects of almost anything. And the reason I bring that up is because, you had, and Cuomo was taking like a more or less safe or more dangerous version of hydrochloroquine. I think he was just taking chloroquine. And White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany basically called him out on the stump today at the White House press briefing. You're just thinking, like, man, what can Chris Cuomo do right? And I can't think of a single thing.
Not a single
dude is constantly.
Even his wife was blogging about stuff about, like, being drenched in bleach. And can I say that this press secretary, I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I'll probably fuck it up.
No, pronounce it. You owe it to us Habibis to try to say it.
I don't even know how to say it.
No, say it.
Out of all
say
the
it.
lying,
say it.
I don't know it.
Say it.
I don't know it. I really don't. I don't.
All right, pull up the spelling. Here, let me pull up the name and see if you can spell it.
Not spell it, but pronounce it. Go ahead.
No, I want you to. I mean, not spell. I want you to say it. Hold on. Can you? What does that say?
It's 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 Kylie McAnal McAnany
All right,
right?
say
Am I
it. Say
saying
it
it right?
full. Say that. Say the whole thing.
Kylie McAnany.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. It's probably wrong as fuck.
It's Kaylee McEnany.
McAnany. McAnal sounds better. No, but what I wanted to say was, out of all the lying pieces of shit that have taken that job, she is probably the greatest lying pieces of shit that has that job right now. That really does a great back and forth with the media in terms of, calling back out at them and like throwing things back at them, because people like to see that. And I think really what that is it's like a game. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it is. It is a game.
back and forth.
This is one of those times where this is one of those times where if anyone thinks politics is a game, it's like this, especially when you're calling the press secretary, the White House press secretary, McAnal.
All right. No, it's great, and I think for the job, she's doing great, especially.
Yeah. I think she does a better job. I think she does a better job than any of the White House press secretaries I've seen fill those shoes in the Trump White House. Just because, like she is very polished, and
right.
There's not much you can hit her with. Like, if you like try to make fun of her for, say, like her body, like she had a preventative mastectomy, like, so she can immediately shame you for body shaming her. Right. I mean, she's easy on the eyes, and she's quick on the draw. There's not much really you can hit her on, with the exception of the fact that she came in the middle of a crisis with coronavirus. It's not just business as usual. As much as journalists want to make it business as usual to try to ding her on anything or ding the White House, I will say some of these journalists are really like out of pocket with how they're like they're asking questions and like make it seem like they're the victims if like Kaylee comes through with like a smart retort.
And it's a game. It's a game. I think Joe Rogan mentioned it before. It was like how somebody would ask a question and then Trump will go off and be like, you know what, whatever, and then go off to somebody else. And then that person will stand up and be like, you know what, I want to give my question to that person. It's like they're trying to stand up for each other and stuff. Like they're in some kind of war, shielding each other and fighting with each other and for each other and all this kind of stuff.
And don't get me wrong. I know about Kaylee's history. I know she's not a Trump supporter from the very beginning, and that she called President Trump or then candidate Trump racist and says he was xenophobic. Like, that's pretty much how like 99% of Republicans viewed Trump before he became before he became president, really.
Right.
So,
right. And to be honest, like when it comes to being able to, push some of the policies in that are in tune with the Republican Party, he's been doing a pretty good job with it. I mean, him and Romney have like a really bad history with each other. It's very public. It's all this kind of stuff. But he will still vote for the policies that are being pushed through from the Trump administration because it goes along with him politically. And
with the exception of
mind boggles the Democrats like no other. It's like they don't understand it, like how people can actually be above, personal shit to get things that they actually stand for done and push through. It's not like he's going to stop a policy he believes is going to help other people just because he doesn't like Trump. just stupid. It's like Democrats would rather people die than actually, push something through that's gonna help them.
Yeah, I mean, what's weird about all of this, and I'm gonna kind of get back to New York because there are a few things that really stick out here. Everyone says you have, everyone says you have a crappy mic.
Yeah, and it sounds like I'm being waterboarded. It's Apple shit. That's what it is. It's Apple products.
How did the Habibis hear my mic? Am I sounding okay?
Oh, his mic is from China.
It's filled with Chinese steam.
I've been mixing my drinks with.
What are we drinking tonight?
I found something whiter than White Claw. It's called Wild Basin. It's boozy sparkling water. It's something Karen would be like, "Oh my god, it's so good." And then I'm mixing it. I'm not mixing it, but I'm drinking, of course, Buffalo Trace.
Wow. China probably has your wires tapped. That's probably what's going on.
They probably have my TikTok. They probably have all my viewing history on TikTok as well, which is
why do you still have TikTok?
Why? Well,
yeah.
it's basically to troll Yashar. That's basically what
what it's
there for. Yeah.
I mean, I'm there for like 99% of those trolls, so they are definitely worth it. Because I know you only share it in our group chat.
But you were going on with New York.
Yeah, so going back to New York because I'm gonna share this real quick because this is peak de Blasio being a piece of shit.
Again. You have to say.
So this falls in line. This falls in line with his sort of targeting Jewish communities. So de Blasio tweets out earlier today, and this is on Monday. Earlier today, the NYPD shut down a yeshiva conducting classes with as many as 70 children. I can't stress how dangerous this is for our young people. We're issuing a cease and desist order, and we'll make sure we keep our communities and our kids safe. First of all, this motherfucker will never step outside. He'll always go outside and without a mask into Central Park for like his daily walk. It's like 11 miles long, and like this was like a month ago that he was. I think it was Errol Lewis as like a CNN contributor was reporting that he goes on these walks so that he could be 100% effective. And like, I keep thinking like, holy shit, if this is him at his like peak effectiveness, like imagine him without the fucking walks. It's just so bad. Like that, and I have been working on a particular list meme for the last 2 days. Jay, you know this. You're like one of the only few people who's actually seen it. I'm so excited to use it, and I simply haven't finished it because it's taken me a while, way longer than I had hoped. But when the Habibis see it, this is the preview here. You're gonna see how glorious it is. And I can't wait to show you. But yeah, like de Blasio just like he can't seem to get his head out of his ass. Meanwhile, New York City is testing UV light on its subways and its buses to sort of disinfect and clean them from the coronavirus, which is crazy to think about, given the amount of shit that Trump got for touting that.
Well, not only that, what's really mind-boggling to me is how long it has taken New York to actually start to disinfect the metro. Not only disinfect, but close it down. They have one of the worst death rates in all of the United States, cases, all that kind of stuff. They never closed down the metro. I mean, the mayor in mid-March with the health commissioner was saying, keep on using the metro, keep on going to your daily lives and all that kind of bullshit. And nobody seems to give a shit. Nobody cares. People are crying, not crying, but like being outraged and focusing on DeSantis opening the beaches when everybody is being social doing the social distancing. It's out in the open, all that kind of stuff. But nobody said a thing, nothing about the metro, and nothing about it being still being open. Nothing about deaths. Nothing about.
It's just amazing. I mean, like, and it all goes back to like how our media has been focusing on particular stories. You got this guy Hamza Shaban, who we talked about earlier in the show, targeting a Washington Post journalist going after Ron DeSantis, and like it's like they're just willing, like they're trying to will failure on these places that are doing somewhat decent, where their like mortality rate is lower, they're not having as many hospitalizations of coronavirus, and it's obviously well past the 2-week thresholds. We're now like 2.5 weeks after.
Well, I think it's
after Florida opened.
8 weeks, but like I think it's like almost 3 to 4 weeks with Florida, Georgia, and
well, they opened May 1st.
And you know what's really funny is Colorado is
a blue state
in the good light, and nobody talks about it. Nobody really says anything. They say all the good things that Colorado did, but then when it comes to Kemp and when it comes to DeSantis, it's like they're what's it called? Experimenting with human sacrifices.
And they're grandma killers, and they're no longer pro-life. They can never say that they're pro-life again, which is God. Everything, like, they've just gotten so bad at arguing. Like, all of their points have been so flimsy on its face. It's so hard to not like have sympathy for a lot of these Republican and conservative leaders. Because I mean, like, and I don't really have any sympathy for anyone in politics because but like, if you're an objective observer and you at least know what you have, like a sound or rational mind, it's kind of crazy to think that, they're getting attacked this hard for things that they're actually doing somewhat well at. It's just like
right.
I don't know. I mean, we talk about this stuff all the time, and it's almost to the point where now, like, they're coming up with shit like Mika Brzezinski, and I'm gonna pull this up because this is just beautiful right here. I'm gonna pull up her tweet right here because I can't play her video.
Well, and
maybe
also,
I can.
Like, what I want people to understand who are watching and stuff like that is like I don't give a shit about Trump. I don't give a shit about Republicans. I don't give a shit about, Democrats or anything like that. What I really care about is mainly pointing out the hypocrisy that is within the media. And not only the hypocrisy of it is that they're trying to tell you the right way to live while they don't even live by it themselves whatsoever. And if I believe in something that's, right wing in terms of policy or in terms of like reopening the states or the economy and all that kind of stuff, and they are trying to dishonestly
move the goalposts.
Not only move the goalposts, but dishonestly report on these type of things, then of course I'm going to call it out. And when you say move the goalpost, it was, look, we flattened the curve. The curve is flattened. Hospitals are empty. Like, we are good. The only place that's not good is New York, and they're still sucking his dick over there. But we've flattened the curve. We've done what we're supposed to be doing, and it's time to reopen everything, and things can still be run with more of an understanding of what's going on in their surroundings. So, like, barbershops will have only 10, for example, like 10 scheduled appointments a day or whatever it is that they can do in order to keep everyone feeling safe and good. Because, I mean, these people, they've worked so very hard to get where they're going. They worked so very hard to get their brand out. They worked so very hard to say that, that they're proud of their barbershop. They're proud of their small business. They're proud of these things. It's killing it. They don't have anything to go back to if we just keep everything closed. If we just punish them for trying to keep their livelihoods afloat. And it makes no sense to me for us to be able to do that. We need to find. It's not. Don't tell me the ways that it can't be done. Let's figure out how it can be done.
Yeah. Let's go to this Mika video. I'm gonna try to play the video. I don't know if it'll work, but let's just give it a shot, because I can now pull up Chrome tabs. It's on the job training.
If we can start playing videos, then I want to start playing Arabic music videos.
Can you hear it?
No, I don't think anyone can hear it except in your AirPods.
And in my own headphones. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's go to her tweet then. I'm gonna pull up her tweet. There's a time for everything. I'll try something else. I'll try it eventually. We'll get it. Yeah, people are saying there's no sound.
We will. I mean, right when you start to figure out how to use a computer.
All right. So, can y'all see Mika? Can you see Mika's tweet? Okay. So Mika's over here being like, Jack, at what point is Twitter a part of this? Take down Trump's account. The world be safer. She's trying to say would, right?
World.
Hold on. Did Trump write this tweet? The world be safer.
The world be safer.
Guys, I mean, on top of being Queen Karen, this is just next level.
No, that's the governor of Michigan. I'm sorry. She's the emperor of all Karens.
Karen Whitmer.
Yeah. No, but about Mika. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, it's just so funny because if you think back to 2016, her and Joe Scarborough were like two of the most instrumental and integral people in terms of getting Trump the nomination.
Right.
I mean, like they had him on their show. They had him on their show at least every week, if not every day, over the phone, just to like literally talk to him about like all of his crazy theories or like his thoughts on everything. Just like have him ramble. It was just like calling grandpa and just having him ramble and like not even butting in. Just like putting the phone on speaker. Just be like, yeah, grandpa. Yeah. Tell us about those Japs. He's just like reminiscing about how many people he killed in the Korean War.
No, exactly right. And but she's not the only one who thinks that Twitter, and I'm talking about journalists in general, like they think that Twitter or Facebook or any of these places, they have a duty to control and to monitor and to look at speech and all this kind of stuff. But in reality, all they want to do is be able to attack their opponents in a way that silences them. Yeah. Because, I mean, Trump isn't the only one who tweets out random shit. For 4 years, we had Maddow and Hayes and everyone else in MSNBC say that Trump was a double agent and that they're in with Russia and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, he really is. But it's like, well, if you're worried about that kind of falsehoods, then why are you spewing it yourself? Yeah. I mean, I don't get it.
The thing is, when it comes to and like everything that they accuse like Trump of doing, they just end up doing themselves. So like with the Russia collusion stuff, and you got this stuff with Nancy Pelosi. In light of all the hydroxychloroquine news, you got her on. Was it? I think it was MSNBC or CNN. I think it was CNN with Anderson.
No. It was CNN. It was with Andrew Cooper. Anderson.
How are you so bad with names?
Look, you have to understand. I don't watch news whatsoever. I barely turn on anything. Even with videos on YouTube and stuff like on Twitter. They don't announce the names on the segments
you just have to read them off.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. So Pelosi essentially calls Trump a thick boy, calling him morbidly obese on Andrew Cooper's show. We'll go with Andrew and not Anderson.
Yes, Andrew.
I am going to, from now on, I'm going to adopt all of your pronunciation just going forward, so that when, as we keep going, I will correct you once and then I'll say it as you say it.
Right.
From here on out.
That's fine with me.
So you got Pelosi essentially fat shaming Trump for taking hydroxychloroquine, and
right.
I mean, like, and then you got like pretty much all the like the left was divided, because you had some people who were like, hey, yes, Queen slay, and then you had people who were a little bit more woke being like, what are you doing? There were actually people
Those
who were
Lizzo
like
fans. The people who are like Lizzo fans. That's them. Look, I'm totally fine with getting on with calling out people who are obese and all that kind of stuff. And it's not the fact that she was calling him obese and all that kind of stuff that was the thing. It was every time Trump wants to say something or tweet something or whatever, you have like Jake Tapper and you have other people be like, oh, 90,000 Americans died and he's tweeting about this. It's like,
right.
It's like, fuck you. Look what Andrew's doing. I mean, or Anderson. Like, he's there laughing with Pelosi, and they're talking about, the president dying because he's taking some medication or whatever, while there's 90,000 people who are dead.
I haven't seen much coverage on the whole Trump being morbidly obese part, but apparently Jimmy Kimmel was getting in on it too, saying that he could die. I don't know if they are taking joy in that. Like, if they want, it sounds almost crazy, because it's concern trolling. It's like they're like, oh, don't take this because you could die, and like that's like the one thing they want more than anything is for Trump to die.
No, they really do, and that's what they really want to do. While 5 years ago, you had people like Jimmy Kimmel like sucking up to Trump and loving him on his show and all this kind of stuff. And it really is going to show that these people are just full of shit. I mean, Jake Tapper is the most full of shit person on as a journalist and on Twitter than anyone else out there. I mean, of course you can say Lou Dobbs and Hannity and these other guys are pieces of shit, but they except I think Lou Dobbs, he tries to portray himself like a actual journalist, right? Instead of like an opinion guy like Hannity, right? That's what Lou Dobbs does. Because
Lou Dobbs is like, it's the best way of describing Lou Dobbs. So he is obviously
other than a piece of shit, I don't know how else to describe it.
He is like, he speaks more
like the most awful person on Fox. Hannity is to me, like, how I describe Hannity is the same way I would describe Maddow, or I would describe Brian Stelter. They're opinion people. They're not people who try to give real news. They're not anything. They're outrage people. Lou Dobbs or Jake Tapper or what's that blonde one who pretended to be offended by boobs? I forget her name on CNN. Clay.
Brooke Baldwin.
Yeah, like these people who pretend to be like, or Don Lemon and Chris Chioma, like they pretend to be like opinionated journalists, objective journalists who are out here to give you, the real news and stuff. While you have Don Lemon fake crying for Jesse Smollett and that kind of shit. It's like it's not fooling anybody. Nobody is going to be fooled by it.
Yeah, I mean, you find yourself in a more liberating and independent position than I can, because at some point in time I have to cross paths with these people.
Right.
not everyone, but like,
I don't have to. I could call every one of these guys.
I know you can call everyone out, and I just have to be like, stone face, not reacting to anything. I mean, look, I know there's. But the interesting thing is like for me, I never take all the criticisms I levy against them is never personal, and I think they pretty much all most of them know that.
Except for Jake Taper, he likes to go into people's DMs and be like, "Do you not know who I am?" It's like, bitch, fuck you. I don't give a shit who you are.
and in fairness.
It's like
Jake and I actually have pretty good interactions, and when I start to have good interactions with people, it in some ways I give people a heads up and let them know, hey, I'm going to put you on the list instead of calling them out publicly, and then sometimes they'll make it, sometimes they don't. And I mean, it's just because like
there's a lot of crazy out there.
There is a lot of crazy out there, and like it has to be called out. But like, I mean, my girl Jennifer Rubin, she never fails me, and
yeah, she would never.
She never failed me.
She was praising Andrew Cuomo like he was some godlike figure.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, I'm trying to find her tweet right now. From like the other day, because it was just a superb in terms of like just the full circle of what's her name, of Jennifer Rubin. If I can find it, that'd be great, but if not, no big deal. But in any event, she is just doing the worst possible job right now, just incredibly dishonest and only shills for one side, yet constantly promotes herself as as someone who's a conservative. And,
well, it's the same thing as all the grifters on Project Lincoln. Every one of them, everyone. Tom Nicholas, I call him bitch tits because that guy. Rick whatever, and
Rick Wilson,
and all of them. They are.
Yeah,
they love to play. They love to play on. They are like reply guys. That's what they are.
They're reply guys. They're reply guys. Here, I found the tweet, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this real quick. Give me 1 second. Chrome tab. Boom. This is from Red Steez. Hopefully you can see this. Can you see this? Nancy Pelosi is a national treasure. Okay, that's from 2 days ago. This is what she said in 2010.
Has as much of a leather face as the first thing that was written on the Declaration of Independence.
So in 2010, 10 years ago, she said, "If I follow Nancy Pelosi, will I wind up at the bottom of the Grand Canyon like Thelma and Louise?" I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's just, my God, people.
It's insane. And it's like they think that nobody understands what they were like or who they were before Trump. It's like, we get it. You were so wrong. You were absolutely embarrassed. And like all the different kind of words and ways you can describe how they were after Trump won. It's like all this is just a ruse and a play on trying their hardest to make themselves out as the people who are right and Trump is wrong. But like, we understand. Look, we get it. Trump is a piece of shit. Trump is an asshole. Trump is all this. Like, you don't have to try to come up with 3 million ways to try and say it.
Yeah.
And also completely disregard your principles and what you believed in to try and get that point across.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just every single time they come up with some critique, some criticism against Trump, I always got to use that line that Trump will never recover from this, because while he does care about his media image, like all of the attacks that they levied against him, like they haven't worked. They simply haven't worked. People don't, when people think of like, like I'm going to take down Trump's Twitter, like, yeah, that'll do it. That'll totally, he's as good as impeached by then. Like it's
right.
I have a hard time thinking that anything. I have a hard time thinking anybody on the left has like cohesive thought process. Like they can actually think. Like there are a few people that actually are really smart on the left who aren't like the ones with the loudest megaphone. And the reason why that is because they actually use their brain and they don't.
Right.
They know when something doesn't work, they call it out. So say for example, Zaid Jalani. Zaid, I actually met this dude maybe about 8 months ago. Nice guy. He's a big left-wing journo, huge Bernie fan, and he has been on Tucker like the last like few nights talking about how Stacey Abrams has basically been the one person that the media has basically become a stenographer for. Like they just released Stacey Abrams press releases, and that's it, because they don't like look into her record. They're just like, look at what she can do. She's a supermodel on the stage with that Washington Post magazine profile. Like it's just absolute garbage. But the memes that came out of it were amazing.
Beautiful. I like the one. I don't know who did it, but somebody photoshopped your face and the pin emoji on it, and I thought that was like beautiful. I don't know who did that
either, but it was lovely. In fact, I feel bad because I got the Habibis making memes for me, and I didn't even ask them to do it. They just started doing it and sending me stuff, and everything has just been so funny. And some of them obviously I make on my own, but I can't keep up with however many have been made. I have over like 200 saved on my phone in a folder.
They keep them coming. It's a beautiful thing. But really I mean, to go back to like Abrams and like how it's not only with Abrams that the media is like this. They were like that with Beto. They were like that with any Democrat, really. They come on like they're
John Ossoff.
He got trolled to marrying his girlfriend or some shit. But
that was so funny.
That was really good. But it just goes to show that these people are really out of touch with everything. They want to keep on saying that she was robbed, she was blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. She never conceded, all these things. But at the end of the day, she is horrible. She's a horrible pick as a VP for Biden. Absolutely 100% horrible. And I mean, I don't think there's anyone Biden can pick at this point. To me, I think Trump's going to win regardless of who he picks as VP. And if he picks
it's going to take a lot. It really is going to take a lot.
It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything if he picks Stacey. Nothing.
The other pick, obviously, that people are looking at, and that's been heating up this past week, was with Queen Karen, Gretchen Whitmer. And
man, that bitch. No, seriously, she is 100% like that bitch. She wants to say all protests are racist and stuff. Like
it's so funny because he has no ability to read the room, none. Like I can't think of anything that Biden has done that has been like, oh wow, that's actually like really well thought out. Like the only thing that was close to it was like maybe in the last week he said that, oh yeah, like if it's something about Tara Reid and how like if I believed Tara Reid's accusations, I wouldn't vote for me either.
Me if you believe Tara Reid, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but
and I find that hilarious. People don't give a shit about Tara Reid anymore. They don't care. They never did in the beginning. And the main people who are the loudest about, oh, Ford is a hero, Ford is this, and all this kind of stuff, the only thing that they did was come up with excuses of why not to believe Tara Reid. People who were saying believe all women it's a right-wing conspiracy, all this kind of stuff. That's what it always is. It's a vast right-wing conspiracy. That's what it is. Always, 100%. Fucking Susan Rice emailing herself, we did everything by the book. Yeah. I mean, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, right. Did everything by the book. Please, there's no politician out there that has ever done everything by the book. You can suck this dick, bitch.
That's a D. Real quick before we get to earn time and question time, because we're gonna save all the questions for the end.
You need to show we need to see who's on the list, bro.
I've been drinking from like a fire hose this week in terms of getting stuff done. I can tell you that Bill de Blasio is up there. Benny Johnson is up there because he had that like anti-Semitic tweet saying that Democratic governors were going to essentially switch it up to the list for the banner. So you have Bill de Blasio with his yeshiva tweet saying that they shut down yeshiva because of 70 kids in the classroom. You got Benny Johnson because he is saying that these Democratic governors were basically implementing the Holocaust against the most vulnerable people in the United States.
That's fucking retarded.
And then, of course, you got Jennifer Rubin is making her return because she's got this Nancy Pelosi tweet. But also Matt Lauer, real quick, because we almost didn't mention him. And
the meditate.
We were going to start off by talking about Ronan Farrow, and ends up we just finished off talking about Ronan Farrow before we get into earn time and questions. But I read that Ben Smith op-ed, or not op-ed, but his column on Ronan Farrow, that he's like too good to be true. And then Matt fucking Lauer comes out here and it's just like, yeah, he is too good to be true. And like, here's all the reasons why I'm innocent of everything I've done. Like,
it's like, fuck off, dude. We know. But the thing with Ronan Farrow is we knew he was too good to be true when he put his name alongside that bitch, Janer Mayer, whatever the fuck her name is. Over at Jane Mayer. At the New Yorker. Train rape gangs, all this kind of stuff to try and bury Brett Kavanaugh. And he put his name on it just because he came into fame with the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Like, we get it. Like, you did a great thing there. Why are you trying to play it like so fast and loose now to discredit all these kind of things? Like, it's that makes no sense to me.
I'm gonna go and take these headphones off, and I'm gonna go get Earn because now.
No, keep them on. Keep them on because you can hear me answer some of these questions. Yeah, I don't want to talk about you behind your back. They're gonna ask me.
Well, you should talk to me.
No, his dick is not 12 inches. It's 2. Go ahead. Let's see some of these questions. What do you guys got? Swoop, I'm right there with you. I mean, what they did was absolutely horrible. Has Twitter ever acknowledged all your accounts? No, they've never sent me an email or anything like that. I think I'm on my 12th account or something. I don't even know.
Here's the champ himself.
And that's right, LB. Earn is sexier than probably anyone running for VP right now.
Look at him.
Oh my God.
Hey, buddy.
You know what's really funny is when I was about, I think, 12 years old, my dad, he came over here from Lebanon, and they hate dogs. I mean, wild dogs and all this kind of stuff. And there was a dog probably the size of Earn, like barking at him, and he wouldn't get out of his car when he came home. So, I think I was like 12 years old or something seeing it. But
the thing is, and like my mom, she's a big pet lover. She had to get a cat to sort of like warm my dad up to liking animals and liking pets. And Ernie,
well, that's because your mom's white, right? It's like American white. Yeah, same with my mom. Like they love pets like no other. They can get crazy sometimes.
Yeah, so like my aunt in Connecticut, before she moved down to Florida, she had a bunch of dogs, and like we'd have fun with the dogs. And when we were in Pakistan, we were living out there, we wanted to get a dog, so we got 2 dogs. They were both they're black poodles, and they were like, I want to say I would say they were miniature because they weren't that big, and they were pretty. They were very cute, but they weren't like they didn't have like the poodle cut. They were just like shaggy dogs,
Right.
and we adopted them in like maybe 2000, and then as soon as 2001 came around, we had to book it with 9/11.
Right.
It was it really sucked because we had to leave them there, but we had servants over there who took care of them and adopted them.
Oh, servants! Wow, that's very white and racist of you.
Well, they that's how they they take pride in their work.
No, they do. I mean, in the UAE where I grew up and stuff, they would say the same thing. They would call them servants.
Let's get this. Oh, here we go.
They were like maids and butlers, basically.
Yeah.
That's what they were. And it's not like you treated them like servants. You treated them like maids and butlers.
All right, so here we'll get to a few questions here. Is Khamenei on the list? He actually made the list last Sunday for his tweet about women and respect and like freedom. He's like, he cares more about. And let's see, did you give Ern a tranquilizer?
As they fucking hang women from cranes and shit.
Yeah.
Did you give Ern a tranquilizer? No, he's always that lazy. What the hell?
Ernie's just super chill, right, bud? Right, bud?
Always chill and lazy. You know, yeah. I'll never forgive you for not bringing him out when we went to when we partied with Caleb.
Oh, I couldn't have done that. It would have been too hard on him. Too hard. He likes only chill atmospheres, and if you met Jack, remember you weren't there. He did meet Jack. He met Caleb Hull's dog Jack at Nong's
when he was still a puppy.
No, I mean this was like 2 years ago. He wasn't you're talking about when Jack was a puppy? Yeah.
Yeah. Not Ern.
Yeah.
I didn't meet Ern then.
And LB is really mad about. How dare you call my king lazy? Julio saying man love Thursday. I don't know what that means. He sounds drunk.
I have no idea.
Jay, hasn't Orange County started to reopen more? Says Bean Dude 99.
It actually has. And to be honest, a lot of stuff, well, for me personally, it hasn't really been closed that much. My offices and stuff have been opened. I've been going to work every day. And slowly I've been seeing a lot of more people on the highway going to work and stuff. Luckily, school is still out, so it's not the traffic's not as bad, and I don't think it will be as bad.
Yeah. Carlos Melendez Jansen asked, "How do you ask questions?"
Just like that, Carlos.
You just did it. You just did it, Carlos. Jansen. Congratulations. You just made the list. Let's see. Janak Legion asks, "Is Yashar? Is Yashar on the list for his tweets today?" Absolutely. I'm putting him on the list. Cox asked, "Victory laps for Ern's big win." So Ernie won the top minion cutest pet.
Yep.
So what's great about that is I'm obviously not a minion. I'm the Habibi in chief.
It was for
Comfortably Smug's minion. Yeah.
He follows me for every one of my accounts, but he can't realize that I'm Brenton Taylor.
Yeah, because as soon as he starts following you,
it's the best one yet of me hiding who I really am.
Well, you've done a really good job of ensuring that your identity has been concealed. And
right.
I mean, as fun as it is to have you get banned from Twitter, well, it's always the funniest when you get banned. That's the Twitter that's always like the funniest to me. I can't stop laughing. It's the fact that I think you and I are in a group chat with Dustin Jeeble, and I have a screenshot of every single account that you were on.
there's supposed to be 12 people in that account, which is horrible.
Yeah, it's so good. Let's see.
John White.
John Wright asks, "What's the one sentence summary of how you guys even know each other?" Twitter.
It's Twitter. Yeah, 2 years ago, this bitch had 5,000 followers. Not even 5,000 followers when we followed each other.
You're talking about me,
That's how long ago it was. Yeah. I'm talking about you. That's how long ago it was. It was so great.
I was small ball. I was no one knew who I was.
And then now look at you.
Look at me. Now Ern is more popular than me. Right, Ern?
And then somebody was asking what the political affiliation was, and like
Sarah Reed asked, "What is your political affiliation? Do you like Trump?" Kind of confused. And do you know who the real smug is? So answer is yes, I do know who the real smug is. There are reports on him. It's actually not very hard to find out who he is. Political affiliation. I'm more politically independent. I've actually been a registered Democrat. I voted for Obama twice. I actually voted for Hillary in 2016 because I was in Virginia and thought,
dumb bitch. No,
I know, I really am. I've admitted this before. I mean, I don't talk about who I vote for all the time, but like this time around, like I don't know, man. I think I might just write in Ernie.
Do it. I'm
but
serious.
The thing is, like,
there's no shame in writing in people, voting for whoever you want, whatever it is. Don't let anyone try to shame you in voting who you want. I lean more right than I do.
I hate Hillary, but like when I thought about it, when I was like coming to the voting booth, I was like, what do I have an easier time, attacking Hillary or defending Trump? And I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. I could go after Hillary for days. And I was like, all right, let's just do that. And then, I mean, she won. She barely won Virginia. And, I mean, am I thankful that she lost the election? Absolutely. Because Trump has been far and away more entertaining. And actually, and there's been ways that you can like defend Trump's policy without coming across as like a complete dick. So, I mean, do I regret my vote? Oh, I regret every time I vote. I think all of my vote. I regret every single vote I make. So there's never a good way of I mean, like the thing is, as soon as you vote for somebody, then you like assign, like everybody thinks you like endorse every single one of their policies, and like I hate doing that. So I'm just not going to vote. I'm not going to vote for either candidate from now on.
Neither am I. I like how Kate is calling you out as a lib.
Yeah. So Kate, where's Kate?
You are an Islamist lib.
Fox is right. Siraj is lib. Actually, what's funny is because like for the Examiner, I am basically the token lib.
The token lib.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Julio says if you're writing someone in, I recommend a certain General James Mattis. Julio, stop sucking his dick, all right? He's a traitor to our country.
Dick, bro. No, that was good.
Who's on the Earn LB train 2024? Earn is running in 2020. You should vote him in right now. I'm on it. I'm his campaign manager.
If he's picking Lib as his VP, I'm voting him in. That's it.
Good boy. Yeah.
As long as I get to run for foreign policy.
Yeah. So we got about 5 more minutes here before we end on 69 minutes. Nice. Oh, did you see this whole thing with Call Her Daddy? Were you following that whole Barstool thing?
No, I haven't. What happened?
Oh, it's just like these two women who were hosts of this podcast that was really successful on Barstool called Call Her Daddy. And they were just like getting into this like really public contract dispute with Dave Portnoy, the owner of Barstool. And he like jumped on. Like New York Post reported the story about how like the two hosts are like no longer best friends, and like they've completely alienated each other. And like then you get Dave Portnoy on Monday he actually does an episode all on his own of Call Her Daddy for like 30 minutes, just explaining the situation in his eyes or in his mind. And it's kind of crazy how it all went down. He offered these two girls $500,000 a piece, like per year, over like a 3-year contract or something like that. And they both like only, and like it's gotten to the point where like they have to now split up because like one of the hosts, Sophia, I believe her name is, she messed things up so bad, like he's not willing to like negotiate with her.
Let's get in contact with this guy. We'll call him Jihadis. Like,
call him Jihadi.
Yeah, look, it doesn't even have to be $500,000 a year. Like we can do
call
it.
Her. Why not? Why can't we do?
I'm down.
Why can't we do Call Her Baghdadi?
Call Her Big Daddy. Let's do
Call
it.
Her Baghdadi.
I don't give a shit. Call this guy. No, but I like a lot of his content. I like my favorite content of his right now is when he's doing the
emergency press conference.
Frozen pizza. No, the frozen pizza reviews, because he can't go to places to review pizzas anymore. So he does the frozen pizza reviews.
Yeah, it's so
really good.
Oh man, I can't even imagine how much money they're bringing in at Barstool. It's crazy. I mean, he's been doing this for 17 years, and like,
and the funny thing is, he's still not verified on Twitter. Like that's what is so hilarious to me. Like he's still not verified on Twitter. Like if he gets banned, he gets banned. It's like
yeah.
It's so good.
LB saying that if you didn't listen to his 30-minute podcast, you really should. It's on Call Her Daddy. I think you can find it on iTunes or Spotify. And
I'll definitely listen to it.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan.
Check it out. It's just so stupid because like these girls completely fumbled the opportunity to really make a name.
100%.
Like I never heard about them until this whole dispute, and now I'm like, man, how badly do you have to fuck up in order to like get on everybody's bad side?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, but what's his name? Joe Rogan. He now got signed to what's it called? He got signed to Spotify to do an exclusive podcast. Man, some people really hate it because they hate the podcast format on there.
Well, the good thing about with him coming on to Spotify is they're still going to do videos. They're going to post.
Really?
They're going to start post videos on Spotify, and I think
they can do video.
There's 200 million reasons why he did it, and there's one other reason why he did it, where he's able to be a little bit more free in terms of not getting demonetized, and also being able to have who he wants on the podcast. So, I mean, it's good for him. It's
surprising to think, considering that he already had so much freedom. I mean, he had fucking Alex Jones on his podcast. And he's smoking,
twice.
And he's smoking, twice. And he's smoking weed with them, and he's also smoking weed with Elon Musk. So, it is
right.
What it is.
But the thing is, it's totally, how do I want to say it, like biased and unfair. Because he gets to do that stuff because he has 300 million or whatever million subscribers.
Yeah. Anyways, well, Habibis, it's 69 minutes on the dot. Here's Ernie. Ernie, say goodbye, buddy.
Thank you for joining us on our jihad.
Thank you, Habibis. We're gonna probably upload this as a podcast. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys have been great. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Ern, for joining us, buddy. Be a good boy, okay? Congratulations.
You too, LB.
All right, love you guys.
أنا بحبكم. مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.